Hey Weirdos. We are recording this out of Minneapolis, Minnesota, but our guests are located all across the world, and our co-host Ronan is located across the Atlantic in Galway, Ireland. Because of this and the nature of technology, there will be occasional issues with audio or video, things that don't get picked up, or any number of other problems. We will try to eliminate as many as we can, but sometimes an amazing moment happens in the middle of a technology glitch. And we want to make sure that those moments make it out into the world. So please forgive any audio, video, or other technology-related problems. We want to show people how they are, and the same philosophy applies to how we want to present the show. Because everyone's weird, and so are you, and so is this podcast, and so is this giraffe. You're so weird. One day, my daughter said to me, "I can't stay quiet, my mouth wants to talk." And I couldn't wait to hear what came out of it next. We don't spend enough time telling stories or listening to those of the people who shape the world we live in. Here are real stories of the eclectic cast of characters I've collected in my menagerie of weirdos. They're brave just like you, and they deserve to be listened to. I'm Sam Jenny, and this is Everyone's Weird, and So Are You. Hi, welcome to Everyone's Weird, and So Are You. I'm Sam.
Oh, and I'm Brady.
We're currently sponsored by Joshua Rex out of Lincoln, Nebraska, who I can personally attest to is a phenomenal fiddler, violinist. He's available for private and public events throughout the Midwest and regularly hireable as an auxiliary musician for rock, country, and Celtic bands and literally anything and everything else. Trust me on this one, he's a good one. He'll go anywhere if the price is right, and he's humble. Just get hold of him, negotiate. You can contact him for booking on Instagram at joshuarex.rocks. That's JOSHUAREX.ROCKS. Or email info@joshuarex.rocks, or you can contact us at eventhisemail@gmail.com. And seriously, he's unparalleled. I know because I have fortunate enough to be able to make the music noises with him sometimes.
And he has a really sweet mohawk sometimes.
Yeah, mohawk's pretty cool. We are broadcasting out of AJK Studios in Minneapolis, Minnesota. You can find them on Facebook. If you want to record anything, these are your guys. Trust me on this one. They're your guys.
They are amazing.
Right. We're calling Jales Jon, who is the lead singer of VIRGINMARYPISTOLGRIP out of Omaha, Nebraska, and also a high school music teacher and private instructor. And one of my favorite people in the whole entire world. So let's do this. Hey, Jales. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. How are you guys doing tonight?
Great. Now talking to you. One of my favorite people in the world. Can you tell everybody how we met, kind of?
Yeah, I was at a Slowdown concert here in Omaha to see the band Guster, and I think right before the show, you were outside. We came out there and we all started just kind of talking, and then I don't know how we found each other on Facebook or online or anything. But then I think we went to the concert. Then after the concert, we all kind of ended up back outside, but it was only for a brief moment. I feel like it wasn't we talked for maybe a few minutes.
Maybe a few. We stood near each other during the concert, too. I think I took your phone and put my information in there. I think I was pretty pushy about that because I was like, we're going to be friends because you love cat. Oh, you were showing me pictures of your cat.
That is incredibly unsurprising.
And I was like, that's so cute. So then you got pulled up on stage during that show.
Yeah, I did get pulled up on stage.
Under the premise of just your band, they knew who you were?
No, I didn't know. That was beef. No, they did not.
What happened there?
I believe he was just wanted someone to come on stage, and since I was so close, I don't know. I mean, and then he's just like, this I just hopped up there. And then he just asked me to do a bunch of stuff, or he asked me to introduce the band or something. I can't remember exactly, but
they introduced you as a lead singer of your band, though. And
did they?
Yeah, and he said you're doing some awesome stuff in Omaha. Do you remember that?
No.
Yeah, well, you were probably backstage before the intro. But yeah, they knew who you were. That was really cool. Like Guster, like one of my all-time favorite bands. I was like, oh, the guy I connected with who has a cat man and on my Facebook now is on stage. I am now cooler for that.
Yeah, you got a bunch of cool.
Huh?
I said you got a bunch of cool points.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I leveled up in cool, like
You
hardcore.
did exactly.
Can you tell us about your band, Virgin Mary Pistol Grip, and your albums that are available?
Yeah, that's a great question. VMPG started in around 2011 time frame. A buddy of mine, Dan, he lived in Sioux City at the time, and we would drive back and forth from Omaha to Sioux City, writing songs, talking about songs, going to shows, just hanging out together, and writing an album. We found a drummer. He came in, and then we headed to Sioux Falls to actually record the entire album. We know a guy there, Mike Dresch. He ran a studio for many years there, and we went there and did all 10 tracks. We released that album at the Slowdown here in Omaha, and a company called Lock 22 put it on. We had an auction. We gave away a guitar. It was a really fun night. A couple other cool bands, Icarus and Pearl Jam tribute band played that night. So that was a really fun time. Fast forward to 2016-ish. We were fortunate enough to start talking to a producer in LA, Bob Marlette, and we started working together, and he flew out here, and we went to Make Believe Studios here in town, and we recorded 4 tracks together. Rick Carson, and then Jeremy engineered it, Jeremy Deaton, and then Wyatt and I, a guitarist, flew out to LA and did a track together there. And then so that was the album called Secret Codes. It's a 5-track EP, and we then released that here in Omaha at Harney Street Tavern, which is a bar downtown. Had a really good turnout for that. A lot of people gave us some thumbs up on the album, Ginger Jesus. You know what I'm saying. And we're currently working on a new album that we are going to put out here shortly. So be looking forward to that. So there is the history of Virgin Mary Pistol Grip.
So you started, you personally, right? Did you start the Blue Fingernail movement?
I did. Yeah.
Can you explain what that is? Also, by the way, it's kind of wearing off, but
Yeah,
you
you
have
guys,
blue
I
fingernails.
love it. Great job.
Nice.
Love it. It's basically just I mean, it hasn't really developed into a nonprofit, but it's kind of, that's my idea with it. At some point, it's just, I mean, I guess it shouldn't say just, but my brother and my sister both have MS, is kind of first place, because a lot of times if you have MS, it leads to depression, which leads to suicide and attempted suicides and things like that. And sometimes it's not just because you're sad; it's because things in your brain. So I feel like that can be used as an example to people because they think it's this thing where people are just going to kill themselves and they're being selfish and they're doing these things. But there's way more. It's way more, black and white than that. So Blue Fingernails is just a basically a way to tell people that I've been blue. And when they paint their nails, they say they've also been blue. So then we have this understanding already that we both have been through things and we're still here. So it's kind of like a triumphant, blue is a sadness color. But when you see someone else's nails, it's just saying what they connect with you and you kind of have those things. So that's the basis of Blue Fingernails.
Camaraderie and understanding and awareness. Especially, it's really cool. Awareness to the fact that it is way more complicated than people think. You're not just depressed because something sad happened to you. You have different brain chemistry, or a medication change, or trauma, even
Exactly.
anything.
Yep.
Yeah,
It's more about
even physical trauma.
100%.
Yeah, I like that a lot. I think it's really cool that you're doing that. And you have a voice that's really loud. People seem to really, really, really love you. And like across the board. And I don't know why, because you're just the worst. But but it's really cool that you're using that voice to be the voice for so a lot of people that need that connection to feel not alone in what they're dealing with and know that there's a support system out there for them and people who understand them. I think it's really, really beautiful that you're doing that.
That's an amazing, service to humanity.
Oh, thanks, man. I mean, that's kind of what it is. I feel like, especially, I feel like a lot, especially, and since I'm a boy, I obviously relate. But like even kids who are going through things that I have never even thought of, like transgender kids. I mean, I can't say how they feel, so it's hard for me, to have like when people are trying to say this or that. I'm always just like, you're not them. So it's kind of like that's what I'm like, just trying to tell, like especially kids, like it's okay to just do what you want. Be yourself is mainly the main thing. And again, your bad things are going to happen in your life no matter what. You're going to get sad. You're going to maybe get depressed. But you just have to know that, a day later or a week later or a month, eventually it levels itself back out. And, hopefully
It
you
gets
just,
better.
yeah, you brave the storm. So,
Yeah.
So are you, essentially, I am not well versed in the Blue Fingernail Project, but so are you just giving people that are hurt a voice? Essentially, like letting them know they're not alone.
Connection.
basically like connecting with people. It's like, so when they come to like a concert, or if they come up to me and they say, hey, I painted my nails, or sometimes we try to provide nail polish and we were going to start trying to even give it away or sell it or do some type of thing where when people come to the shows, if they don't have their nails painted, then they can go, oh yeah, we can just go back to the merch booth and paint them up, just so it shows camaraderie. And like, not really, I mean, I wouldn't say camaraderie, I guess maybe that's not the right word, but
It's
just to
like, it's like knowing that you're not going through it alone makes it easier to go through,
100%. Yeah, I mean that's what it is. It's like, yeah, because when you're a kid, especially, I always say, is like, you have no idea, like, hey, this is how I feel, and then another kid says, well, they don't feel this way, they just feel this way. But if you don't ever talk about it or see this, see anything, then sometimes it's hard because you don't know. I mean,
Yeah, everybody has different levels of openness for sure.
yeah,
Yeah. So that one little fingernail that can show them without having to speak about it, even if they can't speak or they're shy or they're closed off about it, whatever, it still
Voice without a voice.
identifies them. And
right. And then,
that connection.
I've never, and see, when I think of it, I've never really thought about that's very true. I mean, I always just thought about it as more of a. I mean, I feel like, especially as a man, like I have just blue fingernail polish on, and then so sometimes men who think they're a little more manly than me will try to say some snide comment. But then when I come back and say, well, actually, it's like it's for mental health, and I'm trying to, and then they change their tune. So I also think it like helps even people who maybe are like, why would a guy wear fingernail polish? And then when I am, and I tell them, then they say, oh, then maybe that helps them also think like, hey. You don't need to.
Absolutely.
Who cares if this guy's wearing?
It's a statement.
Yes. Yes.
It's a statement without having to speak. I love it. It's beautiful.
Well, appreciate it.
Can we talk about your cat for a second?
Yeah.
Is your cat there?
He is. I could maybe run and get him.
You can if you want to.
Also, I love your mug.
Oh, thanks. I got it. My brother's ex-wife now, but it's fine. It's all good. Things happen. Hold on. Yeah, let me go get my cat really quick.
Yeah, get your cat. Yeah. I'm too excited
I was not
you.
aware
Look
there was going to be a
amazing.
cat
Your
involved.
profile has never looked better.
Huh?
Your profile has never looked better. It looks amazing. You look really good dressed up like this in your black tie attire.
I was not aware there was going to be a cat involved, and now I'm going to geek out over a cat. 100% going to geek out over a cat.
It's a really cute cat. This way. He has a fun name too. I can't remember what it is, but
So am I allowed to squeal?
I will be. So yeah, I guess just
Okay.
don't squeal louder than me. Don't out squeal me. That's all I have to say about that. Is that a bat? Oh! Hello.
Sorry.
He is not gonna like this at all, but
Oh, sweet pea! Look at that face.
He's
Is he almost like a really attractive version of Grumpy Cat?
Yeah, exactly. He's a ragdoll.
Uh-huh.
He's the Fabio
What's his
of
name
Grumpy
again?
Cat.
Hey, bye.
Bye. I love you.
Mwah.
Oh,
He does not look happy.
I want to touch
Hey,
him.
now,
I want to
he's,
touch him until he's uncomfortable. That sounded really terrible, but you know.
Yeah, I don't think that came off
Just
very
be-
well.
I'm just being honest, man.
I mean, it's second. He, doesn't- I mean, he likes to be like 3 feet away, so you can't quite touch him. But he doesn't want to be near you, but he also doesn't leave you alone.
Yeah,
It's
yeah. He.
weird.
That's what cats do. Everything on their own terms.
He just hovers.
I am a cat. He literally calls me kitten because everything on my own terms like touch me. What? No, don't touch. No, don't. Touch, no, no.
It just fit.
Yeah, yeah. I wanted to talk also about your band, Virgin Mary Pistol Grip, a little bit because you are pretty big. You're kind of a big deal.
Sort of
Did
a
you know?
big deal. I
Did you
feel
know
like
that?
I did. I did not.
Everybody I've talked to in the music scene that has been on this show or talked about being on the show that I've told that I have you on the show knew who you were. Every single person.
Flattering. I
We're
mean,
talking about people from Minnesota too.
Minnesota. I love.
Minnesota.
I actually lived in Minnesota for pretty much 1 year in Uptown. So anybody else in Minnesota? I lived in Uptown. I worked at a grocery store. It was really fun, actually. I didn't
Yeah.
have any responsibilities except for that job. So,
That's cool.
yeah, great
Yeah,
story.
we were in Uptown yesterday. Was
Very-
that just yesterday? Or 2 days ago? I don't know. Construct of time has no hold on me.
Time is a construct.
It is.
Is
You're okay. Where time went. That is that a song title, right?
but that's it's a new album we're going to be putting out.
Okay, yeah, that's a new album, and that's gonna be released.
Hopefully September ish.
Yeah, okay, this fall.
Let's just say that.
Yeah, hopefully we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
I can't help but notice when I listen to your music that a lot of your songs on your debut full album and your other one are about getting away from addiction.
Okay.
Can you
Yeah,
touch on that a little bit?
Yeah. So the song 2 Days Sober, I would say first, I would talk about that. So my brother actually was trying to start a band in our hometown, another band, a different band, and they named it 2 Days Sober. But then what happened is basically people in the band, were doing things where they could not, be in a band. I mean, you can't be constructive and I mean, I can't anyway. I mean, I can't, or you can't have other members, or he practices at 2 and they don't show, things like that. So, so then basically I just used that as a character. I've not necessarily been addicted, as in I needed rehab or anything like that, but I do have a lot of family members. Addiction runs in my family. People have been to rehab. A lot of them struggle with, especially alcohol and being, so 2 Days Sober is just kind of this thing where, you make it about 2 days and dang, it's about it. And then you start feeling, the loneliness and the emptiness of making promises to people. And then you can't come through because you were, doing these things. So it's, pretty much just just, basing everything off of that, just being 2 days sober and, having your whole life kind of fall apart.
Yeah, I had a band leader actually fall asleep during a song. I was taking lead on stage, and we didn't even know that he was back to drinking again. So I totally understand that.
Dang.
Yep. Yeah, it was pretty intense, and we got him help right away, and he's doing really, really well now. Really proud of him.
That's good.
Yeah. You said you collaborate, right? You collaborative, right, on your songs, on your albums?
Yeah. I mean, a little bit.
How much percentage of it, like all the songs, the originals, have you written?
Oh,
Ballpark?
I mean, the first album pretty much 75% of it. I mean, I write 99% of the lyrics, and then probably like 7 out of 10 songs, maybe on guitar. I mean, we haven't, Wyatt, this new album, I believe, wrote half. So the new album coming out, it's kind of a little more all of us instead of more just me. So I
That's
think it's gonna
cool.
be
I
exciting.
love
I mean,
I love your shirt, by the way. I want that shirt really bad.
this
Yes,
like,
really bad. It's
art.
really cute. Sorry, I couldn't help myself. It's too cute. Um, so you're a wordsmith. I've noticed that because we've been friends on Facebook since we met, and that was what, like 4.5 years ago.
Pre-COVID. I mean,
Yeah, Arlo was 6 months old, so it would have been about 5 years ago, actually.
holy shnikes.
Yeah, I know. How old are we? It's crazy.
That I feel like
I
that
know.
kind not that long ago.
No, and it was really fun too. But I just remembered, like, I mean, Guster was great. They're always amazing. But you stood out to me during that experience. So, and I thought my cat was dying at the time. And I was like, we're still going to go because, we have these tickets and it's like the only time we're going to be able to see Guster come through Nebraska, like,
Right. Right.
whatever. So we went to the show and my cat ended up living 5 more years. I just put him down a few weeks ago, actually. But he was 18 and a half.
He had a
That's
good life.
Yeah. Yeah. But that I remember being so sad about that, and you just totally brightened up my night with your personality. So
oh
thank
yeah.
you for that.
Now that you say that I think earlier you were saying how I think maybe I had corduroy as my background on my phone.
Yeah, corduroy. Yeah.
Yeah. And we were all like, and then we were like, oh, let's talk about cats. And like, no one around. Like, people sometimes are like, okay, like, about cats. But I'm always like, why not?
Cats.
Yes, I completely agree.
Cats. Yeah, exactly. I don't know. I don't think I have you on Snapchat. I'm not sure if you're on there, but my cat, Fat Gary, is pretty much an internet sensation. He's got
Really?
a low thyroid, and I call him Fat Gary. So, to bitches, don't call him fat behind his back.
Because he's fat and his name is Gary.
And he's morbidly obese. And
That-
he literally, when he drinks water, he lays down around the water dish and just like
that
Oh,
he lays down completely.
you should post a picture of that.
I,
Like,
I will send you a picture of that. I'll send you a picture of that and where I just go Gary,
job.
and finally he goes, meep, and I go, get a job.
Gary, get a job.
Contribute to this household for once in your life. Gary. Gary, get a job. Lays down and drink water. You magnificent beast. What are your favorite lyrics of all time that you've written?
I'm gonna say probably Hand in Hand. It's a new song that we have, or it's gonna be a song on the new album, and it's just I wrote it in like it's kind of like I feel like a few songs, they just come to you like within seconds, or not seconds, but I mean, I don't, and especially for people who don't write songs, but like people who do write songs, it's like lightning just hits, you write it down, and then it's pretty much just takes care of itself. It's like, so I feel like that one was just because of the content and like it was basically right during COVID. I mean, and I hate to be using that because everyone's like, oh, during COVID I did this. I mean, but it was like a dark slash weird slash. I mean, part of it. The one good thing is we learned how to maybe work better not in a building, and we can all. I don't know. We're taking positives, but
Yeah.
Hand in Hand would be the lyrics. I mean, the lyrics are basically about. I mean, I can tell you the lyrics. I mean,
If you want to. I mean, it's up to you since it's not released yet. It's totally
yeah.
up to you.
I'd
So
love to hear him.
yeah, okay. So basically, it's oh my gosh. Oh, I've been waiting day and night for you to stop by and say hi. I haven't seen you since who knows when. It's hard to remember where time went. So that's hence the name of the album. And then I went outside looking for a ride. I saw you walking down the street. Seems like I've seen you before, only in a dream. And then the chorus is stand on top of a waterfall, close your eyes and jump. Make believe the sky is green. Hand in hand, we stand. So basically, it's being with someone. I mean, the name Hand in Hand. I mean, it kind of gives it away.
Reconnecting.
Yeah. So it's like, and then the second verse is, it's more kind of along the lines of COVID. It's like I've been sinking in this space for way too fucking long. It seems like I've been here before only in a dream, kind of repeating the first verse or second verse, and then it goes back into the chorus of the same chorus, does a little bridge, goes back into a quadruple chorus. I mean, just, over and over. And then just saying hand in hand, we stand over and over.
I like that. That's really uplifting.
Yeah, especially during.
Dude, COVID for musicians was awful.
I
I
know-
mean, for
I-
everybody it was awful,
I-
but like we had to do from home shows. I mean, and like we couldn't get together without like having masks on and even film them on like, air, It was just, I mean, COVID for everybody was awful, like really, really awful.
Yeah.
Like everybody, it's been awful.
Yeah.
Trust me. I had COVID 7 times. I'm just going to say that I've had COVID 7 times.
Dear God.
Yes.
It's been a
I
strange.
was in the ER on Thanksgiving, not this last one, but the one before with COVID. And they did a scan on my brain because they thought I was going to have an aneurysm.
I mean, that's real.
Yeah, and my immune system is completely affected by it. Like, and it just affected everybody. We couldn't do shows anymore. Like, it just kind of like, I think it changed music in a way that's going to keep evolving. Though, do you think so?
I mean, I feel like, everyone started doing more things online. I mean, and now it's going back. But I feel like parts of that, again, it's kind of like, if you look at, I mean, there's really no, I mean, COVID sucked, but I mean, again, positive things that came out of it. Yeah. And now maybe artists are going to tour right now. I feel like there's a ton of touring because A, probably, they lost out on money, but B,
Yeah.
haven't played shows. Like there haven't been a bunch of concerts, it's finally opening back up to the public.
And live streaming became way more popular. So then you have like twice the audience, pretty much.
Yep.
So that's pretty cool. I mean, if you're agoraphobic, don't want to go out in public, and you can still want to see the show, you still got it. It's right there. Yeah.
Exactly.
We're taking the positives.
Yeah.
Sorry, Brady. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was very curious about that. I have a lot of friends that are musicians. I'm not a musician. I'm a lyricist.
Okay.
But I had a lot of friends that were just so frustrated at first by not being able to perform, because that's part of being a musician, is being able to perform.
Yep.
But then they ended up staying in their apartments and, focusing. Like, not focusing,
Creating.
but yeah, creating. That's all they had to do. That's like not that all they had to do, but that's the only option they had.
Right. Yeah. It almost forced you to, hey, you're either going to sit here and do nothing or write songs. I mean, so yeah. And we were supposed to go to the studio like right when that happened. So we had a bunch of songs and then literally, and then we ended up writing a bunch more, like a old song that were going to be on the album didn't. So, I mean, I feel like a lot of artists maybe did that too. Like I know some like artists put out huge albums or albums they wanted to be big, and then COVID hit, nothing, and then they just had to put out a new album. I mean, because it didn't have any motion or anything.
Agreed. Sorry. Literally, everything you're saying is the reason why we're doing the show. So I couldn't leave my house for different reasons. And this became a thing. And it's been really beautiful. Okay. So I wanted to talk about my favorite lyrics of yours, if you don't mind.
All right.
And Brady's. We both have some. So mine are in White Cross.
Okay.
Okay. I'm living proof to not give up on you. I fought the war. I fought the fight. I'm not going to die. That really resonates with me
Well,
for an undisclosed reason, but I would like you to elaborate on where that song came from.
where that came from? Well, I mean, part of it is, so like the lyrics about the song were basically like kind of like questioning, like I feel like all people do, and maybe they don't, but I feel like they do. You questioning, religion and things like that, and then like growing up, and I felt like sometimes maybe my parents did things that I didn't agree with, or why would they do that? So then it's kind of like battling through all of those things, that I dealt with throughout my life, where it's kind of the whole thing of battling through and finally making it to the other side. Again, I mean, and I don't want to say like, oh, you're always on like the other side, because you can still go back, where you have to battle back through. But at that time when I was writing that song, I felt like, you know, I had been through some stuff and I got through it. So that was where that chorus.
I'm not gonna die. That means I'm not gonna kill myself. I'm not gonna get suicide. I'm gonna still be here, or I'm gonna be me either way. Or is it? See, seriously, existential question. I'm sorry about that, but
Is there?
that's the one that mattered to me.
Oh, and that was more like back to I think maybe more of I'm not gonna die, as in your subconscious, or your, I don't know if it's your but living forever, like as in
Yeah,
even
yeah,
though your body dies, the rest of your body continues.
yeah. I love it. That's how I interpreted it. It's
Your,
very good,
your
good to be
soul you-
validated. Thank you. Yeah, you're just like all across the board, huge advocate for mental health, and it's amazing. Uh, you're a music teacher as well.
I am.
Do you help kids with that too? Do you find yourself gravitating towards helping kids with that,
Is that
or
an
do you
outlet?
think that as an outlet, like using music as an outlet to
Oh
work
yeah,
through their emotions?
yeah. There's especially, I feel like, and I'm lucky because I get to teach a lot of music tech, which is kind of like I get to do what I want on, like, say, GarageBand or on the internet. We can find anyway. The point of that is where I get to, instead of having being like structured, you have to sit down, you need to play the clarinet, you need to play these notes at this tempo, and if you don't, you're not a good musician. So I like to have the flexibility of letting kids just find their own voice, and like understand, but teach them like about all types of music, and like, this is why this happened, this is why this happened, these, this is how song structure works. So it's more of the kids who are more curious about maybe even being a producer or that side of it, instead of just a musician. Then they have an outlet where, instead of maybe they suck at math or they're not good at reading, it's like they can do something else with their life. They don't, which is fun.
You're
Yeah,
giving him kind of an avenue out
Right. Especially what
to
they've never.
actually express themselves.
Yeah, exactly. And they don't even know it sometimes, because you're like, so in, say, in GarageBand, I set it up where they make a song, and then they'll come to me like, a couple weeks later, and they want me to hear the song. So I listen to it, and then it's like really, really good. And you're just like, oh, and they don't even know it. Like, and then I'm just like, you're really good at this. Like, you need to do more of this. And they're just like, I'm good. Like, they don't even know, it's
I
kind of
mean,
like one of those things where maybe they finally realize that they're good at it, or maybe no one's ever told them, you know? So,
Or
yeah,
let them try.
I love that.
right. Yeah. Just let them try.
Yeah, I teach voice lessons to kids. I love that moment where they're validated and they know they
Yep.
worked really hard. I like to feel like record them at the very beginning, and then as progress goes on, and then they hear themselves and they're like, "What? That's me." It's crazy.
That's
It's really really rewarding.
a really good idea to record them at the beginning. Good,
Yeah,
because
you
then
just
that's
sorry you
awesome.
cut out for a second. Yeah, thanks. Okay, we're gonna go back to Virgin Mary Pistol Grip for a second. How did the band form and how's it evolved?
Oh, that's a good question. So the band started in 2011 or 12. My buddy Dan, in Sioux City, and I lived here in Omaha, and we were both in a different band together. We decided that we were going to kind of, well, at first it was going to be a funny, like kind of a funny band where we would write songs that were just fun and funny, like about this girl who has, like, you know, is a prostitute. I mean, it was just, anyway. I'm not going to go into anyway, but they were just like supposed to be.
Well, that was a very very strange let off there.
They were
We
supposed
knew where
to,
you were going.
Let off
yeah,
the gas pedal right there.
yeah. So we did a few of those. I mean, it was okay. Like, it's fun to do those, like, here and there. And I like to mess around on my guitar and just write funny things too. But then basically it came to, we started like, hey, let's start recording songs. Then we were like, we should be a little more serious, like get some more, we can have fun and be humorous together. But like when we play in the band, like in front of people, let's be more serious. So we just evolved from that. And then when we went to LA, I ended up one person left, another person, whatever, blah blah blah. And then 2 years ago, I got a new bassist and drummer. And then Wyatt, my guitarist, has been with me for like 6 or 7 years, maybe. So we're kind of where we're at a good place right now. I think, yeah, it's like everybody's on the same page. We all understand each other. It's all about communicating. DJ is on bass. Schroeder J is on drums. I'm just gonna give him a shout out since I'm on here. And then so it's kind of like those guys. It's kind of like when you're in a relationship. It's all about communicating and trust, and it's no different in a band because everyone has to trust that everyone's going to do what they're supposed to do, not what they want to do sometimes, but what they're supposed to do. So it's going pretty good.
That
Thanks.
I was going to ask you, do your drummer and bassist communicate?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
That's the ultimate foundation of every good band. For
Right.
real.
It
is. It makes everybody better. I love that. And from what I've heard, you do. I want to see you live really bad. Do you have an upcoming show anytime soon?
We do actually. May 13th, we're going to be at the Slowdown with a bunch of our friends. We play. I think there's 4 bands. We play second. I mean, I would love
What
it.
time does it start?
The first. I think the first band's at 8 p.m.
Okay.
The Slowdown is
I'm gonna be there.
Slowdown is a very kind of a fun
Creepy
venue.
look.
That's where I came up.
Creepy, determined look.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be there.
I'm gonna.
Yes, I will.
That's a very scary look. All right.
Sorry.
Right here over the air. We'll be at the show.
I'm gonna be wearing this black dress.
Actually, if you
This
both
one
could
right
come
here.
to the show, you can get in
Okay.
for free. If you show up,
Okay.
it would just be like,
I have to clean off my suit jacket.
It's gonna be kind of warm on that day, probably. But yeah, I mean, it'll be good because I'm in the short black dress, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Who are your biggest musical influences, like your personal ones? And I'm not talking about just musicians, but also like life experiences, people in life, whatever. Like, what influences you the most in writing and performing and wanting to perform and wanting to teach and everything?
Okay. Well, my number one influence, I always say, is Eddie Vedder. I'm a huge Pearl Jam guy. And I wouldn't say because of I mean, to me, I love his voice, but it's more about the lyrical content than really him as a person. It's kind of like I like Counting Crows. I like Adam Duritz, Justin Furstenfeld of Blue October. I feel like he portrays himself like above and beyond. I feel like he says things that most people are afraid to say. So I feel like that kind of, learning from him gave me courage to talk about a lot of things too, I feel like. Who else would I say? Rain Maida of Our Lady Peace. I love, my favorite thing is performing. I love recording songs. I love writing, but I love performing. That's the best part. Just because I like to either get a reaction from the crowd or, have people talk to me after the show about the lyrics or the songs. And it's just it's like, it's a little validating. I mean, not that I need validation, but it's always good to get it.
It's validating that you're making art that resonates with people. I always tell people that because I'm an auxiliary musician, so I'm always like kind of in the background doing either harmonies or strings or whatever, piano, whatever. I don't like to frontman that much. I will if I have to, but still, I always say, and I think you are exactly like this. It's about the connection between you and the crowd and knowing that they're connecting with you on your art that you created and it's resonating with them and making a difference and really like hitting them where it hit you when you made it. That's a human connection. You know what I
Right.
mean?
I do.
So
agree.
everything you do, literally everything between teaching, performing, all of it is about human connection, isn't it?
Yeah, that's very
Weird,
true.
huh? Right?
So and I've never really thought of all of that. So
Yeah. I
that's
know
nice.
ya.
That's
I've been,
nice.
I've been watching.
I mean, and I guess I feel like maybe my approach might be a little different because yeah, people who always say like, oh, I create the art for me, it's just for me, and if other people like it, that's fine. I mean, I kind of agree with that, but I also feel like, especially in music, like I try to keep the crowd in mind, and I'm thinking of like, okay, if I'm doing this now, can I predict that stuff's going to happen? No, I can't. But sometimes I just have a hunch, or I have a feeling, or concerts I've been to, and I notice what crowds do for certain things. I just kind of try to use things that I've learned. And Bob, our producer, is basically kind of like that. He's a big time teacher, so he's taught us a lot of kind of just studying songs, studying artists, and things like that. So just makes you a
Um, you have like a super positive online presence and performance presence. Like you're just infectious. It's impossible not to love you, and you are so uplifting. You're just generally uplifting, caring, open minded, just non-judgmental. It's just you're a unicorn. Also, can I say that your hair is amazing? Can we just put that out
Yes.
there? Can we just put that?
And also,
It was
you're
obvious, but I'm
you're
sorry.
awesome.
What? No, no, you are. You are. Your mom's awesome. My mom's awesome. We're all awesome.
if I see you in Omaha, where I live, I'm just gonna walk up and give you a hug randomly.
He'll
Please
hug you
Is
do.
that
back.
okay?
Yeah, yeah,
Who is? Oh, yeah. But be wearing your suit.
yeah.
It's a very expensive suit. I had it tailored.
Yeah. One thing that positivity though, a lot of your songs that you've written, since you said you did, most of the lyrics, 99%, right?
Yeah.
They come from a place of pain. How'd you turn that pain into such relentless positivity?
Um, I mean, this could be like a huge, deep conversation, but like, I feel like childhood trauma is a thing that happened in my life, and I would say more like verbal and maybe just mental. I felt like I was kind of a parent. My mom was really, really young when she had me, so I was basically kind of like a parent in the home because my dad would be at work. So I was the older sibling. So I feel like a lot of that has kind of in my to stay positive. I guess it was because basically I was always doing that my whole life. Like I was protecting my brother and my sister, and then just making sure that they were okay, and then everything was good, everything was fine. So I would say a lot of that just stems off of my life, just being that yeah, things suck. Sorry, I mean, we sometimes you can't predict it. Sometimes you can. Sometimes you go through crazy things. Let no one been through. So we're still alive, and that's kind of that's back to the Pearl Jam. Like we are still alive, and I know that I read a thing or listened to a thing when Eddie Vedder said he wrote that. It was kind of a place of sadness, like questioning why he was alive. And as he's gotten older, it's basically now it's a like a badge of honor. Like, hey, we're still alive, so let's celebrate the time that we have. We're still. That's what I mean, and I should say, I guess I'm trying. And I'm one person. I mean, so then like the whole band thing we were talking about, you find people who work well with you. And so then, like that's kind of part of it. So the people that I have in the band right now, like I mentioned, they get it and they're like on board and they want to do all of these things. And they're basically like it's kind of like I'm the quarterback of the team. Like you, you get all the credit, but you also get all the shit. So like yeah, oh you guys are so good, or oh we don't like or the other way, you guys would be really good if you didn't have. So I mean, it, it's kind of like one of those the your curse is your blessing is your curse type of thing, like good and
Yep.
bad. The kind
Walk
of
in
like
the dark so others can walk in the light.
yeah, yeah, like it's so true, and I feel like even with like comic books, I mean that's what that's about. I mean it's those are real stories. They're just made into that to help. I feel like to help people understand. Crazy. It's crazy, but
That's the point of fiction. We
Taking
should.
on responsibility, but this is reality. And he's taking on responsibility so that others don't have to. It's pretty magical. Did you ever take voice lessons personally?
Mm, I went. So when I was with my last band, our singer went, and I went like to a couple, but really no. I mean,
Your
my
voice is so clear and resonant and pitch accurate. I give voice lessons, and I was listening to everything, and I just didn't hear
Oh,
a single thing I would even like be like, "Hey, do this better." It was great.
well, thanks. I mean, the thing
Yeah,
is, I mean, this, I mean, I sing all the time, so I just feel like that's kind of, and maybe I should. I mean, sometimes I'm like, maybe I should. Why not? But then
Mhm.
on the other hand, I also like I said, I like to learn from other people, so I kind of watch, see how people sing, see what they do with their body, see what they do with their mouth, their chest, their diaphragm. I mean, you can just learn a lot by watching. So that's one of my favorite things to do.
Absolutely.
Watch. So
Inward singing.
yeah,
When you're not inward singing, you're only rocking them half of the time.
right.
So how do you actually if you have
You actually have to. Have you ever done a talk box before? It's so
No,
crazy.
I
You
want to.
just you go. You have to inhale and then just make the consonant sound. So it's like for California, but then you're
Okay.
inhaling at the same time. It's so strange. I manage my ex-husband's band, the one you met at the show
Yeah.
at Guster. And we do California Love, and I'm the only one who can actually do California.
That,
That's what it sounds like.
I'm actually very curious. So you've never taken voice lessons.
no.
You obviously have a very, very, very vocal personality. How did you end up coming into music? Like, did it just resonate with you and you just pursued it as a passion, or?
I mean, so in high school, I played sports and didn't really do any. I played video game. I like played video games with my younger brother. Played sports. Had a job. I didn't. I was in choir until I was like maybe a sophomore, and then I joined a band my freshman year, and all I did was like play the drum. That's like that. I didn't really play an instrument. And then when I got out,
Drums are an instrument.
Hey, that was me.
I was literally just like
I-
my teacher would just point at me. When I,
You played the triangle.
hey, you
yeah,
learned rhythm, right?
yeah. I mean, that's like so. My dad, when I was in third to eighth grade, made me take piano lessons. So I feel like a lot of like rhythm and like cadences. Like I feel like my piano teacher was awesome because she knew that I didn't read music. I would just play like I could kind of memorize what she would show me and then I would just play it. So it was more of I didn't want to learn the piano so much. I just wanted to listen to
Just
music.
wanted to be able to do it.
Yeah.
That was the same way. I quit piano lessons. Actually, I was kicked out of them. I ended up teaching myself with one song.
That's
And
not
yeah.
surprising.
Yeah, I know. I don't like to be told what to do. You
So
know.
then then I got a guitar, and literally just started learning. I mean, I just got a book and it had all the chords in the back. I just ripped that page out and then learned all the chords and just kept switching as fast as I could. And then, like I said, then I started learning. I just watched concerts, learn from people, learn from even musicians in town. You go to a show, watch what they do, look at what pedals they use, what amps, guitars. I mean, it's kind of a whole process and then the passion was just, I feel like it's just something that I wanted to do. I don't, you know what I mean? It's like, kind of like, I just got the guitar and I started right. Like I wrote a song within like a month. Like as soon as I could learn like three chords, I tried to write a song. So I was like,
That's all I
and
need.
then, right. And then like maybe 2 years later, I was at like a party and I get out a guitar and somebody's like, "Oh, sing us a song." I'm like, can I show you a song that I wrote?" And they're like, "Yeah." So I like played one song and they were all like just sitting there like they're like, "You wrote that?" And I was like, and then that's when I kind of realized that like, maybe I'm like okay at this, like or good at it or whatever. How you kind of have that moment of, "Oh, I'm pretty good." So that was it. So basically, yeah. Ever since then, I basically just have been writing songs over and over and over, and just crafting, making more. Every time you write one, then the next one you're like, "Man, this one's better." Then you write another one, "Oh man, this is better." So then it's kind of like you just have a competition with
Yeah.
yourself,
Yeah.
and just try to really write better songs every time. And if it's not better, then that's kind of then don't do it. Like, don't force anything. I mean, you really shouldn't have to. I mean, especially if you're committed to your craft. But
You don't have a fight club with yourself outside
That's
in your alley like I do?
Oh, I
Is that
mean,
just the
don't
thing
get
that
me
I
wrong.
do myself?
Like, yeah, get into a fight with the
Better song. Better song.
you suck.
First rule is not talking about it, and I broke that rule, so I have to go out and nail it right now. I'll be
First-
back.
First do a Fight Club.
Song Fight Club. Hey, so you can download your albums on what platforms again?
You can download all of our albums on every YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, or Apple Music, whatever it is called now.
And
Mhm.
I can't find the name. Is it? Where's the?
Virgin Mary Pistol.
No. The name of the first album on iTunes, especially. What was the name
Oh,
of the album?
well, it's technically untitled, so but people call it
Oh,
Rocking
okay.
Chair. Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, I was like, I don't think it had a title. I was
Nope.
right. It's
You were right.
untitled.
it was.
Do you want to fancy us with a song tonight?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, please do.
Yeah, let me.
Yay!
Song is called Blue Heart. We met for dinner at a favorite place. I can still remember the smile on your face, the way your eyes glow, the blue on my nails. I can't comprehend the way that I feel. Love will lift you up. You won't need to fly. Love will carry us until the end of time. End of time. We walk the forest and talk to the trees. I can hear the birds sing, they're singing to me. The way your skin feels, the fire in your mind, I can't understand the reason you're mine. Love will lift you up. You won't need to fly. Love will carry us until the end of time. End of time. Wyatt, the guitar here. DJ add a little bass. Sugar J. Your light is gone. I'm here to help you shine. The days are long. I'm here to help you find. Love will lift you up. You won't need to fly. Love will carry us until the end of time. End of time. End of time. Thank you.
I'm not almost crying.
Yeah, okay. No, no.
You
no,
are.
no.
He's almost
Wait,
crying.
I don't want
Who
to.
told you that? Did Steve tell you that? Who is Steve? I don't even know. He's the liar.
Who is?
Who is Steve anyway?
love
No,
that.
that was really great. So you can be found on what is it? Can you read the website? Because I can't see anymore because of the
It's-
blinding lights.
Where?
It's right. It should be right in here.
Yeah,
I am
Spotify.
so far, I can't read
Yep.
my writing. Okay.
iTunes,
Okay. You have
Spotify,
iTunes?
iTunes, and Bandcamp, right?
Bandcamp, SoundCloud, YouTube. I mean, pretty much
Okay, yeah. And then
into.
probably my Facebook page on May 13th.
Yeah, you've got May 13th, the slowdown.
Yep.
I'm
And
gonna
then
be there.
the VirginMaryPistolGrip.com band website, and then VirginMaryPistolGrip@gmail.com
You got it.
email.
Yeah.
Yes. Or if you want to get a hold of them and you forget all of that, you can still email us at even this email is weird @gmail.com. And check out Jales, because this is a person who needs to be celebrated for existing. That's all I'm saying. But
Yes.
seriously, thank you for being on the show. We're going to plug you for the rest of our season. So we really appreciate, I personally seriously appreciate the fact that you exist. And I know that a lot more people other than me alone appreciate your music and what you do for kids and what you do for the community and what you do for
Yes.
your cat Corduroy. And what you do for your hair, because it's phenomenal.
I also I'm gonna come when I'm in Omaha. Can I come pet your cat randomly?
Okay, here's the deal. Like, you guys don't know, I mean, but every show we have pretty much ends up at my house afterwards. So you
I'm
can
going
play
to
with-
bring a tiny pair of overalls for Corduroy. Anyway, thank you, Jales. You're the
Yeah.
best.
It was really nice to meet you. And
you.
just on a personal note, I'm just glad that you're actually teaching kids music and actually letting them get it out in the world.
Thanks, man. Thank you. I mean, I appreciate all of these words. It's bullying, it's flattering, it's all of the above. I appreciate both of you taking your time doing what you do as well. So much
Yeah,
love.
well, yeah, it's not supposed to be flattering. It's true. So,
No. I don't mean
Yeah,
that flattering.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah, no, it's true.
genuinely.
It's true. Yeah, but yeah, peace, love to you always. Thank you for always loving my Facebook posts. I'll always
Yeah.
love yours back.
Yeah. Yeah. We're still alive. Still alive.
Yeah, we're still alive. Okay, everybody, listening and watching, that was Jales Jon of Virgin Mary Pistol Grip and the Blue Fingernails Movement and music teaching and educating and being the champion of the universe. You can find their band at virginmarypistolgrip.com. You can also email them at virginmarypistolgrip@gmail.com, spelled VIRGINMARYPISTOLGRIP@gmail.com. And for their schedule of events and gigs they're playing, you can find it on Facebook. And you have to search them, Virgin Mary Pistol Grip, in all caps, and you can find their page. And you can just click on the events link, and it'll show you all their shows that are upcoming. Also, you can find them on Saturday, May 20th, Sarpy County, Nebraska, or Werner, Nebraska, at the Multiple Sclerosis Walk. You can find the Blue Fingernails Movement on just Blue Fingernails on Facebook. Just type in the search bar. You can find it. Jales. Just remember what he said. We're still alive, so let's celebrate the time we have left. Thank you, Jales, and thank you for listening. This is Sam Jenny from Everyone's Weird, and so are you.